In this demonstration, we're going to set up Auth365 to manage the authentication process for Office 365. So first of all, we're going to log in to the Auth365 administration account, and this itself uses federated identity to manage the authentication of the application itself. So we get challenged with the Auth365 security token service, which requests a username, and using the pin-safe Turing code and one-time code, we then get challenged and can log into the system. Now, when I registered this user, I registered them as an enterprise user as opposed to an ISV. In this case, we can then start to manage domains within our organization that we wish to federate out onto Auth365, and then connect those to applications that we wish to authenticate. So first of all, if I have a look at the domains, I've set up a domain called CloudScope Co UK, and if I go into this in a bit more detail, I can then create an active sync with my on-premises Active Directory if I wish to. However, in this case, what I've done is just create users directly onto the system. So I've created a user called Jane, with the username Jane at CloudScope Co UK. So once we have those users and domains set up, we can then start to define a number of applications that consume claims. So we can create a number of application instances, as well as creating Office 365 applications specifically. So by clicking on this is what I created earlier, what I can then do is connect that to one or more of my domains that I've set up in the system. Now, there's a couple of things that we have to have done before this. We have to make sure that we have an Office 365 account, and that we have created a separate domain of the same name called CloudScope Co UK in this case. Once we've done that, we can then connect up the domain here to the application, and we can create the trust relationship by typing in the our live ID for the account and the password that we use for that account. Now, this is also available as a download that can be run on your local machine, so that you're not passing any of your credentials directly up onto our platform. They're not stored in any way. They're just used in order to create a link with Office 365 and tell it that Auth365 is going to be the identity provider. So that's it. We've created a domain and users within that domain. We've connected that domain to an application which is Office 365. So now all we really need to do is to try it out. So if I go to the Microsoft Online portal, and here I've signed in with another user previously, so let's select the user that we're signing in with now. So it's Jane at cloudscope.co.uk, and because it's set up for federated identity, it tells us that we need to actually go to the CloudScope authentication or identity provider, which is Auth365, and it reroutes us to Auth365, as you can see. I then type in the one-time code against the Turing string that PinSafe has provided, and claims about that individual are wrapped up into a SAML token and then passed back to Office 365, where they're unpacked and the user is given access to the system. And from here we can go and connect up to Outlook and check our emails. So that's it. With Auth365 we can create domains, we can create users within those domains, and then we can connect them up to any number of different applications, and Office 365 is just one example of many that could be used. And that includes on-premises applications, such as SharePoint, Office Outlook, Web Access, for example. Thank you for listening, and if you found this useful, you can find out more about us at www.auth365.